So if you are currently injured or if you've ever been injured, I want to give you a framework to think about that injury. So this is a framework that we use often when working with individuals coming in to manage loads and kind of get to the crux of where we might be able to make changes and adjust those loads to keep them active, but to give us direction into what may have helped contribute to some of the issues that are at play. So here is our load scale. So we all have a certain amount of load capacity. How much can our body handle? How much load can we put on our body and still maintain this homeostasis? That is all comparative to how much load we are putting on our body, right? So this is our capacity to tolerate that load. This is the actual amount of load that we're putting on, right? So we may have strength to control a certain amount, and over here we're putting on more or less or equal to that amount, and there's a scale at play where we're either going to be balanced, loading too much, or underloading and having more capacity than we can tolerate. There's also other factors that contribute to this biomechanical load. Those can be things like sleep, hydration, our nutrition, our stress, our connection with others, and other variables at play from an outside perspective, working in and changing effects within our body. These things are supposed to be happening at baseline, right? We're supposed to have good sleep. Our bodies are designed to be hydrated, to have good nutrition, to manage stress, to connect with other people. Most of us don't fulfill on all these promises to the body, right? We're limited in our sleep, we're limited in our hydration, in our nutrition, et cetera, et cetera. So if we are limited in any of these things, it actually adds more load to the body. So let's use an example. So let's say our capacity is to tolerate 20, I'm gonna use pounds, right? 20 miles a week, 20 pounds of force, 20,000 steps, like whatever, it can be whatever you want it to be, but we're just gonna use 20 pounds. And how much load we're putting on our body is 20, right? So we've hit this balance, right? Perfect. We feel like we're in the exact right spot. This is somebody walking in saying, hey, I haven't changed anything about how much I'm doing day by day, but I'm getting an injury. I'm getting hurt. I'm having discomfort. What's going on? We have to look down here. Did something change with your sleep, with your hydration, with your nutrition, stress, connection, work stress, family stress, travel stress, upcoming holidays? Has something changed there? And if it has, this is actually additive, right? So instead of you put your 20 pounds of normal activity on, if you're limited here, that actually might feel like 30 pounds, right? That might be 30 pounds worth of stress and load on your body, which is tipping the scale, right? So it might not be what you're doing from a biomechanical standpoint. It can be something that you're doing outside of that, right? Things that you're not helping to nourish the body, help recover from the loads that you are putting on it. So what can we do in this situation? Well, this scale is tipped. So what we need to do is we need to decrease the biomechanical load to level out the platform with then the hopes of increasing our load capacity. So things that we focus on is we focus on decreasing this load, right? Right now that 20 is too much. Even though it's what you've been doing for a long time and it matches what's over here, we might need to decrease that. So let's say, hey, maybe we're gonna go to 10, right? The other things we need to do is we need to work on all these. We need to give a little bit more focus to sleep. Can we get 30 minutes extra a night? Can we try to get in more hydration? Can we focus on our nutrition? What can you do to manage stress? The hard part is a lot of times people use this movement to manage stress, and we're trying to back off the load of that movement. So we got to find a different strategy, right? Reading a book, connecting with friends, seeing family sometimes causes stress, sometimes can help with stress. So how can we manage this so that we can change this number as well? And that hopefully in the short term, this can be 20 pounds or maybe a little less to help this capacity come up a little bit, right? To help that scale tip in this favor so that once we can calm things down initially, then we can layer on more and more load to gradually bump up this load capacity. So that instead of 20, I'm just gonna double it. We get to 40. So take that much more biomechanical load to tip the scale. So hopefully that helps kind of reflect and think about if you're struggling with some injury, something's kind of bothering you, little aches and pains here and there. Maybe the load capacity, maybe it's not that you're weak, maybe it's not that you have limited load capacity, maybe it's that right now there's increased biomechanical load because of some other variables at play.